I am delighted to be here today. I'm also sure the leadership of North Korea is delighted that I'm here today in a private capacity. At least that's what I've read. Perhaps they'll be a little less delighted now that I can speak in unvarnished terms about the grave and growing threat that the North Korean nuclear weapons program poses to international peace and security. Let's start with a couple of what I think the main precepts of dealing with the North Korean nuclear weapons threat are. First, it remains unacceptable for North Korea to have deliverable nuclear weapons. Now, by the word unacceptable, I don't mean some rhetorical flourish by a politician. I mean that our policy should be that we do not accept it. We will not accept it. Second, it seems to me clear that the DPRK has not made a strategic decision to give up its nuclear weapons. In fact, I think the contrary is true. I think the strategic decision that Kim Jong Un is operating through is that he will do whatever he can to keep a deliverable nuclear weapons capability and to develop and enhance it further. He may try to get relief from international sanctions. He may make some concessions. But under current circumstances, he will never give up the nuclear weapons voluntarily.
Rebecca Tsai worked as cabin crew at Cathay Dragon for 17 years. It was her first and only job.
I really love my job. To me, it's very special.
On August 21, Rebecca was fired.
They asked me only one question. Does this Facebook belong to you? I said, yes. They immediately say, I'm sorry, I have to go for the process. Now I will announce that you are being terminated with immediate effect.
She says she was never told why she was sacked.
I was shocked, very disappointed, frustrated.
Rebecca has participated in some legal protests, but says her Facebook page did not violate the Code of Conduct. Rebecca also represented about 2,000 Cathay Dragon cabin crew in her union and says she had good relations with the company until the Hong Kong protests. Protests which forced the airport to close, cancelling hundreds of Cathay flights. Cathay has cracked down on staff involved in demonstrations. The airline itself is under pressure from China, its most important market. Beijing has banned any Cathay staff who are involved in protests from flying into China. The hard line from Cathay has had a chilling effect, say staff. They call it white terror. This Cathay staff member who supports the protests spoke to CNN on the condition of anonymity.
In terms of the white terror, I would say it feels unsafe, it's uncertain. Me and some of my colleagues, we have a time to say it. We wouldn't know is it our last day today, because tomorrow when we come in, we may not even be able to get into the building anymore.
Cathay recently revised its staff code of conduct, which includes posts on social media. Staff are told to speak up if they see a breach of the code. Employees tell CNN that dozens of workers have been fired. In response to CNN, Cathay says they don't comment on specific cases, but that dismissals are always in strict accordance with the terms of their relevant employment contracts. They added that they're required to follow regulations prescribed by the authorities in mainland China. There is no ground for compromise. And it's not just the airlines that are caught up in the protests.
It's also spreading to other sectors. It creates an atmosphere of fear among the workers that you have to be in line with the political stand of the company.
Many of Hong Kong's biggest companies, including its biggest bank, HSBC, are now publicly condemning the violent protests and calling for a peaceful resolution. But it's clear that the protests are moving from the streets to the offices and factories of Hong Kong. In this new, less defined battle line, it's freedom of speech that's coming under threat. Andrew Stevens, CNN, Hong Kong.
Americans are now evenly divided on impeachment, with a notable rise among independents and Republicans supporting President Trump's removal from office. A new CNN poll just released finds 47% of Americans believe the president should be impeached, up from 41% in May. The change is not fueled by Democrats. Roughly three-quarters favor impeachment, as they did during our poll 4 months ago. but the support among independents has grown by 11 points and by 8 points among Republicans. For now, public sentiment is shifting. 45% of Americans oppose the historic move, down from 54% in May. A week after Speaker Nancy Pelosi opened an impeachment inquiry, she said Democrats would build their case on patriotism, not partisan politics.
Let us try not to make it further divisive, but we cannot ignore our oath of office to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States.
The call for impeachment is resonating among younger Americans, the poll found, with 60% of those under 35 now in favor of removing Trump from office, compared to 43% who felt that way in May. The shift comes from within his own party. Among Republicans and GOP-leaning independents under age 50, support for impeachment has climbed from 9% in May to 22% now. As the House is set to begin hearings and depositions this week, the poll finds that 48% of Americans say the president abused his power to gain political advantage against his rival Joe Biden in his conversations with the Ukrainian president. 39% say Trump did not improperly use his office, and 10% say they need to learn more. While the poll shows unmistakable movement, Democrats still have a case to make to the broader American public.
He wants to mount a defense. I'm certainly willing to listen to it, but that's the evidence that's in front of us right now.
Convicting the president remains an extraordinarily high bar, needing a vote of 2/3 of the Republican-controlled Senate. But Majority Leader Mitch McConnell saying today the Senate will consider any impeachment articles.
Well, under the Senate rules, we're required to take it up if the House does go down that path, and we'll follow the Senate rules.
Oprah sent a crowd into a frenzy with a huge donation that she made. So her audience wasn't expecting this. They probably felt like they won the lottery just by having her there.
Exactly. I was going to say that. Just having Oprah present makes you feel like you've won something, right? But people started screaming for joy when Oprah announced that she was donating more than $1 million to help students go to college. So Oprah was speaking at a luncheon in Charlotte named for the late Maya Angelou. That money will go to the United Negro College Fund. Now, more than $1 million had actually already been raised when Oprah announced, hey, I'm going to match it. Boom, there you go.
A 16-year-old in Tennessee named Channing Smith died just last week by suicide. This after a fellow student outed him as bisexual. Channing's private messages with another boy were posted for all to see on social media. Joining us now is Josh Smith. He's Channing's older brother. And Josh, as a parent, I just want to say, my heart goes out to you as a parent and a sibling. Tell us about your brother. Just tell us what folks should know about him. He seems like a remarkable kid.
Channing was the sweetest kid on earth. He was 6'3", 230 pounds. So he was a big kid. And music was his passion. He loved cars like Corvettes and motorcycles. He loved his job that he recently got at Burger King. He wanted to be able to make his own money. Very sociable guy, never met a stranger.
You know, something your mother said following this, your mother, Crystal Smith, posting one little picture can destroy someone's life. And that's really the story here, isn't it? Weaponizing social media, right, with enormously damaging effects.
Yes, absolutely. In this day and time, and especially in this incident, the social media, telephone, computer is as lethal as any other weapon.
Yeah, I mean, particularly, with adolescence, I mean, those years are tough enough as it is, imagining this. I want to ask you, if I can, about the school's reaction here, because there were some things they did. They sent out a note to parents about these kinds of risks, et cetera, but they did not call an assembly. They did not get the students and parents together to talk about this, how to move forward. Are you disappointed with how the school responded here?
I am beyond disappointed, to say the least. They did not put an update on their Facebook page, their website. Really didn't reach out to me and the family. My father, matter of fact, the kids organized a rally or a memorial service in Channing's honor for Thursday night. And with the art teacher's permission, they had made all these signs that said "Justice for Channing," because to this point, no one's been criminally charged or even, I'll get to that in a little bit, I'm sure you'll ask. But anyway, so the principal confiscated the signs that said "Justice for Channing," And some of the kids, I think, may have managed to get the signs back, but they had to cut off the Justice for Channing part. And but the large majority of the kids did not get their signs back. The principal claimed that the school day was over with and didn't get a chance to return the signs.
Yeah. The school has a statement I should note here, and I'm going to read from it here. It says that a legal investigation is being conducted that involves some of our students. The school district is not at liberty to make any statements concerning the matter at this time. Counseling was provided at the school for students and staff who were struggling with what occurred. The Tennessee Suicide Prevention Network has reached out to provide resources for those that are dealing with this difficult situation.